Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Israel, owner of Drive Tech Collision here in Stayton. 2021 Chamber Board Chairman. I'm currently serving my fourth year on the Chamber Board, and it's an honor to, excuse me, I just had a piece of chicken, hold on. And it's an honor to be chosen to represent our local business community in this capacity. It's so great to be here, see everyone's full face in person. I want to take a moment and thank our sponsors, the businesses who are responsible for making this event possible. First off, I'd like to thank Foothills Church for allowing us to use this beautiful space. Our publicity partners, Our Town Sanium and Canyon Weekly. Our photographer, Charlene Vogel Photography. I think I saw my iPhone around here somewhere if you want to use that. Our videographer, Skyline Productions, that will make it possible for those who could not join us today to still be able to be part of our celebration. And most notably, our title sponsor, Columbia Bank. They have continued to sponsor this event year after year, allowing us to continue this legacy. And with that, I will turn the mic over to Mike Jager of Columbia Bank.
Thank you, Israel. Well, welcome. It's great seeing everyone here. It's been a long time, hasn't it? It just feels good. You know, Columbia Bank just loves to support this event. I'm sure you agree that 2020 had to be probably the most challenging year ever for many of us. And yet, as with anything in life, if your eyes are open to it, you can always find positive things that come out of negative situations, right? With all the casualties and the sickness and frustrations of COVID, have emerged countless touching examples of people caring for one another. Unexpected but welcomed family time, and a slowing down of life that so many of us pine for and need, but seldom otherwise seem to find. There's so many moving stories of businesses reaching out and helping each other survive. And then with the destruction and tragedies of the wildfires, we've seen volunteers just come out of the woodwork. Huge financial and moral support generously offered throughout the entire community. Neighbors, helping neighbors endure and rebuild. The human resolve has really been overwhelming. Unprecedented generosity and care, really. I mean, $2.7 million given to the Santiam Canyon Wildlife Relief Fund. That's incredible. That, folks, is the reason Columbia Bank loves to sponsor this event. It is such an uplifting occasion, a positive effort to recognize those in our community who've selflessly taken the reins and led us through, set the example, did the right thing, demonstrating a commitment and a giving heart that just makes this community great. We so appreciate these people, and we're grateful to the Stayton Sublimity Chamber of Commerce, whose initiative each year sets the stage to recognize these humble givers.
Thank you, Mike. I'm so grateful that you guys could all be here today. I think Mike kind of took my thunder because I was going to talk about all the challenges that we faced this year. But right here in this room, I think is proof of our resilience, that common collaboration, our persistence to overcome adversity and adapt to change. Our communities have faced some of the toughest challenges we will ever face in a lifetime. And we're here persevering and proving that when we work together, businesses, organizations, and community leaders, we are unstoppable. We are really blessed to live and do business here, aren't we? This, right here in this room, those watching at home, we are an interconnected family, valuing one another's differences and unique perspectives, working collaboratively for the good of our local communities. Excuse me, I didn't even have my chicken yet. Each and every one of us is in some way responsible for the survival and growth happening here. Every time you ordered takeout from one of our amazing local restaurants or decided to support your neighbor's business instead of ordering it on Amazon, you made a choice to sustain our future here. It's because of that local culture, this legacy of supporting one another and giving back, cultivated by each of you, that has contributed to the success and resiliency of this region. Regardless of whether or not you are personally receiving an award today or simply here celebrating those who are, thank you for being a vital part of our local communities. Speaking of vital, I want to take a moment and thank those who make my job easier on a daily basis by sharing their time and talents. As many of you know, due to the high risk associated with COVID-19, we didn't have our visitor center volunteers helping out with us this year, which meant that my assistant, who couldn't be here today, but is in the office often, took on a lot of additional responsibilities. So I just want to give a thank you to Kathy Boyd, who's my executive assistant, for staying on top of all the changes. And she put together that Eat Local weekly, calling all the restaurants, what changes do you have? Are you doing takeout? Are you doing outdoor dining? Each and every week. And so I want to thank her for that. She's a rock star. In addition, we really have an amazing group of business leaders who make up our Chamber Board of Directors. This group is dynamic, creative, outspoken, and willing to take risks for our members. I promise you that as your Chamber leadership, we will continue to strategically expand our influence as a strong advocate for local business and community livability, providing information, education, and resources, playing an active role in business policy, expanding our partnerships, and collaborating for the good of this region we all love. I'm grateful to be supported and empowered by this group of individuals. Although we have been operating with our current board since January, it's typically customary for the affirmation of our board from our membership in accordance with our bylaws. So I'm going to call the name of each of our board of directors and then have you guys, give them a vote of approval. Our 2021 board chair, Israel Aguirre, owner of Dry Tech Collision Center. Can you guys stand? Our chair-elect and chairman of our Governmental Affairs Committee is David Giglio, Skyline Video Productions. He's back in the video production booth. Board Treasurer Debbie Vopel from Stayton Maps Credit Union. Board Secretary Jennifer Tiger of Stayton Law. Director Alan Kirby, North San Am School District College and Career Pathways. Director Corey Dent, Stayton Tire and Auto. Director Beth Morey of Landmark Professional Mortgage, and Beth is currently not able to be here today. She is quarantining with her husband. And our newest director is Shelly Christ, and she's a one-woman show at her business, so she couldn't be here today either, but she's the owner of the new Gardener's Eden Coffee, Nursery, and Gifts. That's right behind Ixtapa, so if you haven't met her, go in and do so. She's amazing. Okay, and now the real reason we're here today is our honorees. So I'd like to invite Jennifer Tiger up to introduce our first award recipient.
The 2020 Large Business of the Year Award is awarded to a local business with 15 or more employees that provides excellence in products or services, customer service, and is a positive contributor to the local economic vitality of our community. Businesses nominated should exhibit innovation, resilience, and a strong community spirit. Strong community spirit. The word cooperative has two definitions in the dictionary. In the context of business entities, a cooperative is an organization owned by and operated for the benefit of those using its services. Its customers are also its owners. By law, a cooperative is required to return its net margins to its members. However, the word cooperative also means a marked willingness and ability to work with others. Those of us who are members and customers know that Stayton Cooperative Telephone Company is not just a reliable provider of exceptional services, it is also an active and vital part of this community that embodies a strong community spirit by serving and working with local organizations, nonprofits, and events. SCTC does a lot of things in the community that it doesn't always receive recognition for. It puts up and takes down event banners and flower baskets downtown. It provides office space to the chamber and also to the senior center. It's a frequent sponsor of community events, and it gives approximately $15,000 in scholarships to local high school students every year. SCTC also supports a wide variety of local organizations, schools, nonprofits, and events each year. Following is a partial list from their website. Boy Scouts, Stayton Food Bank, Friends of the Family, Habitat for Humanity, Kiwanis, Marion Estates Auxiliary, Elmcroft, Santiam Canyon Stampede, Sublimity Harvest Festival, Santiam Teen Center, Stayton Library Foundation, Toys for Tots, Relay for Life, Willamette Valley Hospice, Youth Sports Programs, Oregon National Guard, National Night Out, Sublimity Fire Department, Sublimity Stayton Fire Department, Mill City Fire Department, Stayton, Mary Lynn, Stayton, Sublimity, Mary Lynn, Stayton, Regis St. Mary and Cascade Schools, outdoor schools, athletic teams and tournaments, auctions, graduation parties. When our community faced numerous extraordinary events this last year, SCTC was there to help. When COVID-19 forced our schools to move to online education last spring, SCTC made sure that area students had internet so that kids could learn from home. It offered discounted rates to those in need and provided Wi-Fi hotspots at the library and community center so the internet was available to our community from the parking lots. SCTC also helped struggling businesses and other organizations. When our community was impacted by the wildfires and then again by the ice storms, SCTC worked hard to safely and promptly restore services to its customers and those who selected that time to switch from its competitors. We are fortunate to have a telecommunications company in our little area of the world that not only provides excellent service, but time and again exhibits a strong, cooperative community spirit. It is no wonder that this is the third time that SCTC has received this award. It is my honor to present the 2020 Large Business of the Year Award to one of my favorite clients, SCTC.
Wow. Thank you, Jennifer. I can't really follow that up very well. Good afternoon. My name is Schmidlkoffer. I'm the president of SCTC. It's an honor for SCTC to receive recognition as the Large Business of the Year. Receiving this award is a direct reflection on the entire organization. From our board of directors, management, and most importantly, our frontline employees, we have a talented staff with literally decades of experience. Doing the right thing and treating others the way you would want to be treated is a vital part of the culture at SCTC. Our interaction with the community is as important to us as the services we deliver.
Excuse me. I believe our mission statement sums it up. Our vision is to improve the quality of life and prosperity of our members by providing communication services that are reliable, reasonably priced, and tailored to meeting their needs. In conducting our business, we pledge to communicate honestly and conduct our business with the highest standards of ethics, trust, and integrity. I'd mentioned that we literally have decades of experience, and I'd like to take this opportunity. Maureen Comstock's been with the company 41 years, and she will be retiring next week. So thank you, Maureen, for your service. You've earned it. And thank you again for the recognition, and enjoy the rest of the program.
Everyone loves the story of the beloved underdog overcoming adversity. This year, our small businesses, which make up nearly 90% of all local business, were clearly the underdogs, as we watch box stores and big businesses, face relatively few restrictions, while the small businesses here in Oregon were hammered time and again with closures, changes, and restrictions. As a result, many businesses closed doors all over the last year, but our next recipient not only pushed through, but did so with an outpouring of generosity toward the community that they love. The Small Business of the Year award is given to a local business with less than 15 employees that provides excellence in products or services, customer service, and is a positive contributor to the local economic vitality of the community. This year, we focused on nominees who exhibited innovation, resilience, and a strong community spirit. It wasn't difficult for our selection committee to pick a winner. Although we received 14 nominations in this category, all amazing local businesses, the Covered Bridge Cafe and owner Carrie Sessoms received a total of 13 nominations in 3 different award categories this year. Carrie and her staff have made Covered Bridge Cafe a home away from home for community members, offering their patrons, many of whom are an older demographic, a place to socialize and feel welcomed. It's a place that a homeless individual could get a meal without judgment, a place where local civic groups hold meetings and retired patrons solve the world's problems over a cup of coffee. Then COVID-19 happened, and in a blink, everything changed. In addition to the first shutdown, pivoting to takeout, being concerned about her regulars and employees, Carrie lost her business partner of 14 years. As 2020 continued, it brought with it yo-yoing COVID-19 regulations, which seemed to change weekly, the Beachy Creek wildfire, and some unexpected health issues for Carrie herself. But nothing was going to stop Carrie and her team from loving the community. At her core, Carrie has always been and can continue to be a true community leader. She got creative with ways to help keep her employees. She took advantage of financial resources available to businesses affected by COVID-19. She pivoted to offer takeout, outdoor seating, and online ordering. Then she did even more. Covered Bridge Cafe partnered with Cascade Floors to provide all area students a free hot breakfast on Wednesday mornings, since students were not able to get one at the school. She opened the Covered Bridge Cafe to families of wildfire victims, providing meals, free, and offering families $100 gift certificates so they could have a home away from home in the midst of losing everything. She fed firefighters, and later in 2021, utility workers and tree trimmers during the ice storm. And when school did reopen, she sponsored student athletes who were looking for contributions in order to participate in their first sports seasons in almost a year. In every way, Covered Bridge Cafe embodies innovation, resilience, and community spirit. I am thrilled to present the 2020 Small Business of the Year Award to Covered Bridge Cafe.
Hi, my name is Lily, and my mom couldn't be here today, and she just wants to sincerely apologize that she couldn't be here, and she's very sad about that. But she did write a little something that I'm going to share for her. She writes, "Thank you for recognizing us as a Small Business of the Year. I am so proud of my family and employees that have worked so hard through the toughest year ever. I'm humbled beyond words by the support of the community and every single Covered Bridge employee. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you." And then she wrote, "I'm crying while writing this." And I just want to say thank you to our staff and all of our family and all of the community that has continued to support my mom through like she said, the toughest year ever. And we can't thank you guys enough.
I love seeing the legacy of the next generation. That's super awesome. With all the financial challenge that 2020 threw at many local businesses and organizations, other businesses and organizations saw tremendous gains in 2020. And as is always the case in unprecedented times, those with more generously partnered and gave to those in need. As a chamber, we saw such an outpouring of support and generosity from so many in our community that we opted to recognize a new type of community advocate for this year's award ceremony, the Philanthropic Champion. I'd like to invite Karen Andel up to talk about our next award recipient.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Mike. Hi. Thank you for asking me to present this award. The 2020 Philanthropic Champion Award is bestowed on an individual, business, or organization that seeks to support the welfare of our region through a posture of financial generosity, resulting in lasting, positive impact on our communities. That's a mouthful. And we're so lucky to have so many, of such in our communities. We are really excited to honor one today. Today, we are happy to honor Mike and Steffani Klein with the Philanthropic Champion Award. Here are some reasons why. Mike Klein contacted the Chamber after the establishment of the Chamber Rotary COVID-19 Small Business Relief Fund. He offered to match any donations that we received, increasing our capacity from $50,000 to $100,000 in grant funding for local businesses. Mike and Steffani Klein are also the initiators of the plan to organize and hold the Heart of the Canyon benefit auction. It will be held on August 28th in partnership with local vendors, nonprofits, and Stayton Area Rotary. The funds raised will go to support the Santiam Canyon Wildfire Relief Fund. The Kleins also, among many other things, are avid supporters of Family Building Blocks, the Santiam Teen Center, NSYA, and other efforts. Mike and Steffani have been described as, quote, selfless servants who truly love their community and walk alongside those hurting by financially supporting the efforts of our neighbors, businesses, and nonprofits. I've been fortunate to meet these guys this year amid all of the craziness. So I have some personal experience working with them. I have seen how committed Mike and Steffani are to lifting up all in our communities who are in need, and not just to help them stand back up, but to be able to help them run for greater successes than they have ever achieved. So with that, I would like to ask Mike Klein, and his team member is not with him today, to come up and be awarded the Philanthropic Champion Award.
Thanks, Mike. He says, and Steffani, I'd like to thank everyone who made this possible. God, friends, and all those that work for my company, Cascade Floors, Inc. My wife and I truly love this little piece of heaven we call the Santiam Canyon and hope to spend many more years helping and sharing what we can to help others. I'd like to mention what my grandfather used to always say about giving or tithing. He would always say, give what you can, give till it hurts, then give more. God's watching. God will reward those who give in faith and trust. I'd also like to thank my wife, who is not here today, for being my rock in life. Thank you again, and God bless you all for what you do for the community.
I'm just going to share, it's not in my notes, but a little, I actually got to meet Mike in person today. We've only ever talked on email or the phone. It was really funny when we announced that we were going to do the Chamber Rotary grants for the COVID-19 relief for our local businesses. How I found out was Mike posts on our Facebook post, hey, we'll match grants. And I'm like, who is this guy, right? I mean, he's just sees a need and he takes care of it. And so thank you, Mike. We are so honored. What really differentiates regular communities from great communities are the individuals willing to live lives dedicated to serving the needs of others. There are so many kinds of community advocates. Some do so financially, and others do so with their time, and some by providing a voice to others. In 2016, the Chamber introduced our Rising Star Award to bridge the gap between our high school Future for Citizens and our Distinguished Service Award. I'd like to introduce local city councilor Paige Hook to talk about this year's Deserving Young Professional of the Year.
Hi, I'm Paige Hook, and I'm a city councilor here in Stayton, and it is an honor to be here, and it's great to see everybody out in the audience today. I see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of elected officials that have even come out to be here today, which is amazing. The Rising Star Award is given to a young entrepreneur or employee who works or resides in our region and exemplifies professionalism, leadership, service, and a dedication to their field, company, or the local community at large. The person that I have the pleasure of introducing to have this award presented to them is and does all of those things. She is a daughter of two Navy veterans. She's currently the director of her networking group, Women in Networking, and has been on the board multiple times in the last 8 years. She has been a realtor in the Willamette Valley for about 10 years, and she and her husband own a residential construction business, and she manages several rentals out of state. On top of all that, she homeschools her kids. Uniquely, she is also a master food preserver through the OSU Extension Office and educates the community on safe preparation of preserved foods. And she has also taught kids cooking classes for food preparation. In addition to that, for her volunteer work, she and her mom volunteer together serving veterans in our community through work with organizations like Serving Our Veterans at Home. She gathered donations for the firefighters and fire victims during the wildfires. She has volunteered 2 years as a ghost tour guide for the annual Brown House and RDS Ghost Walk. She volunteers at the annual Mill City Fire Department Bingo Night, which raises funds for their yearly 4th of July fireworks show. And when her kids were going to school in person and she wasn't homeschooling, she would volunteer for the yearly jogathon, be a field trip mom, and helped with field day. She's helped rescue dogs from a 99% kill shelter in Cabo and brought them back to Portland to find living homes. She is on the Mid-Willamette Valley Realtor Governmental Affairs Committee. She spends a lot of time meeting and speaking with legislators, submitting written and oral testimony, advocating for our community, which I have had the pleasure to see month after month for the last 2.5 years. She advocates for rural values, homeownership, landlord rights, and most dear to her heart, which is one of the things I love so much about her, she advocates for parental rights, medical freedom, and informed consent. She is an amazing woman. In addition to all that I have mentioned, she has served at the dais with me as a city councilor in Stayton for 2.5 years. I call her Jordan and Madam Stayton City Council President, and it is my honor to have her come up here and to have the 2020 Rising Star Award presented to my fellow city councilor and friend, Jordan Ohrt.
I don't know where she is.
Paige. Oh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Wow. Thank you, Paige. My name's Jordan Ohrt, and I wear a lot of hats, and Paige mentioned a lot of them. Most importantly, I'm a mom and a wife, so thank you, Matt. And today, I wanted to thank God. He gets all the glory in this. I wanted to thank my parents and my brothers. They can't be here today, but they've always been my biggest fans, and they're really the reason that I'm here, the reason that I can stand up and do the things that I do. So I wanted to mention them. As I look around this room, I see so many helpers, so many faces of people from this community that see a need and they stand up and they help. So I wanted to thank all of you because nobody does this alone. We can't do this without all of you. So thank you. We're nervous. I wanted to thank Carmel. She really gives thanks outwards, but really, I mean, she brought all these people here together. She really does so much for our community, and she's an amazing, wonderful leader. So I wanted to thank you, Carmel. I wanted to thank my fellow city councilors for their support and their service. It's always an adventure, and it's sometimes a thankless job, but we do it because we care about our community. I wanted to thank the city manager, Keith Campbell over there, and all of his staff. Again, can be a thankless job sometimes, but we couldn't have done it. We can't do all this without you, so thank you. I lost my place, I'm sorry. I wanted to thank all my friends and family, including my kids, who lift me up. And finally, my husband, Matt. I tell him my dreams and what I want to do, and he is the best teammate. All those things that Paige mentioned, I couldn't have done any of that without his love and support, and he really does make so much happen. So thank you. And again, I wanted to thank all of you for your support, and as the last award recipient said, when you're in need, you give, and that's what I saw in the last year and a half with all of you. So thank you.
Thanks, Jordan. I forgot my Kleenex. It's hard to believe that this type of annual community award celebration has spanned the last 75 years. As history tells it, the celebration began by honoring a man and woman of the year. I wasn't alive 75 years ago, so I'm assuming history's correct. And later incorporated a local business of the year. Over the last 75 years, it's taken on various forms, new award titles have been added or adjusted to become the event we celebrate today. What an enormous and humbling responsibility to continue sharing this legacy of those who've gone before us. The one award that has stood the test of time is our Distinguished Service Award. Although the name has changed over the years, the premise is still the same. The Distinguished Service Award is bestowed on an individual who demonstrates outstanding community service in our local Stayton Sublimity area, contributing to a lasting positive and measurable impact on our communities. I'd said before that there are different kinds of community advocates. Now, every once in a while, someone comes along that embodies the real meaning of servant leadership, dedicating financial resources, creativity, time, and energy, and to become a voice for the voiceless. I think this year's recipient is all that and more. My first experience with Deana was not one of working side by side on community projects, though. We both had kids in the same school, we attended church together. She was always caring, relational, and intentional. I had no idea what her last name was. That's just who Deana is. Several years later, after taking a position with the chamber, I was invited to a Library Foundation event, and there was Deana planning, organizing, and fundraising, because that's who Deana is. Family Building Blocks hosted a chamber greeters, and there Deana was supporting, informing, investing, because that's who she is. And when the Teen Center needs some help to advance their cause, Deana stepped up to host a reception event. In fact, every time I turn around, there is Deana saying yes. And then, the Beachy Creek fire ripped through our beloved canyon, devastating everything in its wake. And there was Deana again, leading, advocating, and championing on behalf of those who had nothing left. What started as a way to meet a need developed into a beautiful collaboration that has become the Santiam Canyon Wildfire Relief Fund, and in 6 short months has raised over $3.1 million to fund the local wildfire recovery effort, and also the creation of a long-term wildfire committee recovery group. Why? Because that is who Deana is. Passionate about people, willing to step in and do something. Someone who knows that we serve a God who is greater, who created each of us for a purpose, and who isn't afraid to answer that calling in her life. Someone who brings life and light and hope to all around her. I am so excited. I was so excited to call her and let her know that the selection committee had chosen her as the deserving recipient of our Distinguished Service Award. I got her voicemail. But I knew the newspaper was going to be calling her, so I had to leave her a voicemail. Who wants to tell someone such good news on a voicemail? Well, I left this message, and I'm like, hey, Deana, this is Carmel, and I wanted to let you know that you got this award, and you're going to say that, oh, there's all these other people that are so much more deserving. But you deserve this. And when she returned my call, she said, oh, I was listening to your message, and I thought, well, there's all these people more deserving. And then you said, always gracious, modest, and humble, because that's who Deana is. And that is exactly why I'm so honored to present the 2020 Distinguished Service Award to my dear friend, Deana Freres.
Is that good? Well, okay. Thanks, Charlene, so much. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you. It is a tremendous yet humbling honor to receive this award. To be recognized for distinguished service among this crowd is befuddling to me. Especially on the heels of all that occurred over the past year. A year when so many of you stepped up to serve and were committed to do whatever needed to be done at any given moment. Like Jordan, I look around this room and I see businesses who faced insurmountable challenges just to keep your doors open. You are employers who prioritized employees' pay and their health above your own. And you went to great lengths for your customers, clients, and patrons. I thank you for that. I see our city team. I was hoping our library director would be here today, one of my favorites. I see our city library team who went through outrageously complicated protocols to ensure our neighbors, including children of all ages and isolated seniors, had access to reading programs and books. We should thank them for that. I see schools who boldly stepped into the storm to get our students on campus and as safely and as quickly as possible. And we thank you for that. I see a teen center that was committed to opening its doors to serve teenagers during one of the most during one of the most mentally trying, isolating times in our lifetime. And they were committed to being open, and they did it. They found a way, so thank you, guys. I see nonprofits and service organizations like the Knights of Columbus and Stayton Area Rotary, who exuded their service above self motto and indeed proved to be true, fair, beneficial, and full of goodwill, and we thank you for that. I see a community hospital that stretched far beyond its expected mission to protect us all in the face of what was for a time a terrifying, bona fide global pandemic. Yet, in the midst of that, Santiam Hospital leadership and staff still found the space to say yes, to step up and support the wildfire relief effort with tenacious commitment and servanthood. Thank you. I see my family who love, support, and encourage me, ensuring all the pieces fall back into place at home when I have overstretched myself. I see my favorite human, It'd be weird if I said Trisha right now, wouldn't it? My husband, Tyler. You are ever quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Thank you for your daily example of servant leadership, steadfastness, and humility in our home and in the community. And I know we all agree that the service provided by our community's first responders, our sheriff, police, fire, EMT, and ER teams, was this last year and continues to be second to none. And we all thank you for that service. So again, I say, to be considered distinguished for service among you is a true honor. You are my community that I have come to love. To walk and serve alongside each of you brings me great joy. In closing, I'm borrowing some words from St. Paul that he wrote in chapter 1 of his letter to the Thessalonians. I remember without ceasing your work of faith, your labor of love, and your patience and hope in our Lord Jesus Christ. You guys inspire me, and thank you for that.
It's the example of excellence, service, servant leadership, and strong commitment to our community that makes this year's award recipients and all those who have gone before them example for the next generation. I would like to turn over the mic to Rotary President Debbie Vopel to discuss our next awards.
Thank you, Carmel. I'm new to the presidency, so thank you all of my Rotarians that have supported me over the past year. Rotary is an organization of businesses and professional people united worldwide to provide humanitarian service and encourage high ethical standards in all vocations to help build goodwill and peace in the world. On the world stage, Rotary is committed to education, service, and the eradication of polio. Locally, Stayton Area Rotary works together to learn about the community needs. Our meetings are every Wednesday from noon to 1. Please feel free to drop by. We are meeting in person now at the golf course. You're welcome to join us. As a club, we have come together to help the community in activities and programs and ways to give back. Currently, we're giving to over 30 organizational community activities, some of which are providing fourth graders with dictionaries in the 11 local elementary schools. Also giving scholarships to students graduating, helping them to promote their education. Each month during our Rotary meetings, we do have a student of the month selected by members of the school from Regis and Stayton High School, and they are students that demonstrate service to others and shine academically. Thank you to the Chamber for hosting this event and partnering with the Stayton Area Rotary. I'm proud to present the Future First Citizens Award to two of these well-deserving students. As a Chamber member and a proud Rotarian, I am pleased to carry on this annual tradition. We are proud to work with both Stayton High School and Regis St. Mary again this year to honor these two amazing young people. They amplify the values we are praising through this celebration. They both display the values and goals of the Rotary: fellowship, high ethical standards, and most importantly, service above self. These two future first citizens demonstrate a wonderful attitude that we are certain will help them grow into be amazing first adults. Please allow me to introduce first Mike Bauer, who will be introducing Izak Schmidlkoffer as the Regis St. Mary recipient. Come on out.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for hosting such a excellent event that brings together the members of our community. It gives me great pleasure and a real privilege to introduce Izak Schmidlkoffer from Regis St. Mary High School. Izak is somebody who I have known basically since he was born. He's the son of Maria and Bruce Schmidlkoffer, and Bruce is a teacher at our school. So I was around when Izak first arrived on the scene. And I've had the pleasure of watching him grow into a fine, fine young man throughout his 18 years of life. Izak is such a fine example of a young man that will go on to be a wonderful citizen in our world. The things that I would like to exemplify or show that exemplify this are some of the things that I've been involved with Izak. And he was a Boy Scout, and his Eagle Scout project, as a matter of fact, was putting in a charging station for electric cars. And I just happen to own an electric car, so that would, to me, a really nice project. More importantly, I've been involved with Boy Scout, Eagle Scout projects throughout our community, and there was always one person that made an appearance there, and that was Izak. So he's been serving our community as an Eagle Scout, not necessarily as an Eagle Scout, as a Boy Scout for many, many years now. I'd also like to emphasize some of the things he's done at our school. He's a member of the National Honor Society. He's an outstanding student. He's been involved in programs such as cross country and our drama program. He's actively involved in almost anything that we have to offer. So within our community, he's also done such things as, besides the charging station and the Eagle Scout projects, helped out with the relief effort for the wildfire through some of the programs at our school. He's somebody that is always there when he is called upon. Some of the things that, one of the things that stands out on my mind is when we were working on a service project at, excuse me, I have to refer to my notes here, the Marion Polk County Food Service. Our students went in there and were preparing foods, and it was gratifying and heartfelt for me to see him get so much pleasure out of collaborating with the other students. It was nonstop chatter. You could just tell they were enjoying what they were doing. And I'd say that primarily is an attitude you would see throughout anything that Izak is involved in. So Izak will be somebody who will go on to represent our community well, and he's going to be attending Notre Dame University, and I think he's probably going to follow in his father's footsteps as a English teacher, but that's to be determined. At this time, I'd like to make sure that you give a good round of applause to our future first citizen from Regis, Izak Schmidlkoffer.
Izak, go ahead and come on up, and then would you come up, we'll take a picture. And then be happy to get you to do your presentation. I'll let you know that.
Hi, I'm Izak Schmidlkoffer. I'm a senior at Regis High School. When I found out I received this award, I tried to think back to when I began to value community and service. And I realized it's difficult for me to remember when I began. From a young age, my parents tried to involve me in the community, first through introducing me to scouting in the first grade, which I've continued, and then in other things like recently fundraising for and building a house for a family in need. Growing up in Stayton, I took for granted what it means to live in a small town. Just this past fall, I saw the overwhelming response of our town pulling together after the fires. I'm sure everybody in this room helped in some way as part of our community. My small part was raising money with my school for fire relief and germinating trees to replant the canyon. The support in our community really brought home for me why our town of Stayton is such a special place. My dad is a teacher at Regis, and my mom is an attorney in Salem. I have a little brother in 4th grade. His main interest is his 4 pet bunnies. My family has taught me the importance of Christian service, of integrity, and of hard work. Helping our community in whatever way I can is fulfilling. In scouting, we clean trails and parks around town. It's our small way of giving back to the community. As I've grown, many adults have shared their passions, their time and energy with me. My parents, teachers, coaches, directors, and scout leaders have supported and encouraged me. Regis has been a great place to develop as a person and to find opportunities to help others. I plan to continue this throughout my life, and that's why I chose to attend the University of Notre Dame. It's a place that educates not only the mind, but the whole person, and provides those opportunities and hopefully a career to give back to others. I plan to study English and computer science. There's some discernment there, but we'll see where it takes me. There are so many deserving people who contribute extensive time and resources to our community. What I've done in high school would not have been possible without the people who have supported me. Receiving this award humbles me. It's a true honor. Thank you.
Now, please help me welcome Vicki Story up to the podium so that she can introduce our next honoree, Maya Joyce.
Good afternoon. At Stayton High School, our mission is to empower all students for life. And that looks different depending on which student we're talking about. Sometimes it means we support and scaffold and provide resources, and sometimes it means we step out of the way and let them just be who they're already on their way to be. And that is the case with the young woman I want to introduce to you today. Stayton High School's Future First Citizen is a young woman who has already set herself apart from her peers through her accomplishments. In just a few weeks, she's going to graduate top of her class as one of our valedictorians. She has served our school in a leadership role all 4 years, including being junior class president. And then this year, she's been our student body president and the North Santiam School Board student representative. In 2019, she was named the Miss Marion Polk County Outstanding Teen, and she is a very accomplished pianist. Her resume of volunteer activities is impressive, demonstrating her heart for the community and for serving others. Next year, she will attend Harvard University and study pre-med and then eventually focus on ophthalmology. I am pleased on behalf of Stayton High School, the Stayton Area Rotary, and the Stayton Sublimity Chamber of Commerce to congratulate senior Maya Joyce as the recipient of this year's Stayton High School Future First Citizen Award.
This is the perfect height. Thanks, Miss Story. Good afternoon. As they said, my name is Maya Joyce, and I just want to begin by saying how honored I am to be here today. And I want to thank the Chamber for not only putting on this incredible event, but for providing this award for many years. And when I found out that I was Stayton High School's future first citizen, I was shocked. I have seen incredible students get this award year after year, most recently Carlin Croft, for goodness sake, and I literally cannot believe that I am standing here today. I also want to thank my school and the North Sandiam School District that I have been a part of since I was in the kindergarten, and I am truly honored to be a part of this community and the school that I have been a part of all of my life. It's pretty awesome. As Ms. Story said, I have had leadership positions at my school. I have been honored to be the current student body president, and we have faced a lot of challenges, but we have an incredible school and an incredible student council that has really risen up and has taught me a lot over the last year and a half, especially, about leadership and about the amazing community that we are a part of. Time after time this past year, I have seen the strength and the incredible character of our entire community, beginning, of course, with COVID and the way that we all rose up to face this new challenge that we had never seen anything like this before. And then with the wildfires, I, of course, like many of you, tried to help those that were in so great of need. I did volunteer at the wildfire relief efforts, and I was astounded by the generosity of this community, and I was so grateful to be able to give back in a small way. As I mentioned, through Student Council, we are really trying to do our part for this incredible community that has done us so much good, and we had a wonderful time partnering with Regis High School to put on the holiday share that happened this past December, and that was another instance when I was shocked by this community and the generosity through this really difficult time when there was so much giving. And as I am about to leave and go 3,000 miles away from the only place that I've ever called home, I am really, really sad because this past year has shown me how lucky I am to grow up in this community where we have so much strength, so much character, so much kindness, so much generosity, and I'm going to miss it a lot. And I have been honored to be sitting in that seat, realizing that I'm the last award recipient and I have to follow all these incredible businesses and individuals that have come up here and talked to you guys already. But I just want to say that you guys are incredible, and you guys have made my last 17 years here in this incredible community absolutely amazing, and I am really honored to be standing here in front of you today, and I'm really grateful to have had this time in this community with all of you, and you have really all, as a whole, helped me to become the person that I am today, and for that, I am so grateful. Thank you.
We as a Chamber Board just would like to say thank you for helping us honor this deserving students that are doing all that they are doing today, as well as what we expect them to do in the future. So thank you very much for being here. And at this time, I'd like to turn it back over to Carmel Bielenberg and say a few closing words.
Thanks, Debbie. You're probably tired of listening to me talk, and we're almost out of here, so I'll make it quick. But I want to express my gratitude for each and every one of you guys. Together, our contributions make this region what it is. And may we continue to appreciate and celebrate our unique heritage while having the courage and the tenacity to grow, adapt, and support one another and enhance the legacy we leave to the next generation. I want to thank everyone who chose to make nominations this year, our selection committee for thoughtfully considering those nominations and making these final selections. It is always hard to choose winners when all of us are winners. And we have such a large, dynamic, and invested community to choose from. I want to say thank you again to our title sponsor, Columbia Bank, as well as our in-kind sponsors who make this event possible. And a special thank you to our local high school youth who helped set up, serving and busing, and who are going to help tear down this event. I wanted to leave you guys with something to consider as you enjoy the remainder of your day. The formation of diamonds. In simple terms, diamonds were once coal that underwent extreme temperature and pressure over time. This last year and a half has certainly been wrought with all sorts of temperature and pressure for an extended period of time. Perhaps these challenges were necessary to produce a needed change that we would have otherwise never been able to achieve. What do we want our legacy to be? Let us continue to see adversity as the fuel for transforming our businesses, our communities, and ourselves into something more valuable than anything we leave behind. Beauty from ashes. Have a great day, everybody.